Next, what we're going to do is get this M.2 SSD in there. Now this comes with a thermal guard, which is kind of nice. So first we need to take that off. Unscrew that. A little bit more. Okay. Work it with my fingers now, and that came off. So we'll take off this guard.
It's Dan Pewter.
So you see there's this strip right here. We could peel that off, but we're not going to until right before we put it back on after we install the NVMe SSD. Under this strip is some like thermal, I don't know, coolant or whatever. Anyway, it helps keep the NVMe drive cooler. Okay, so we'll go get that drive. So here we have our 970 Evo Plus. It's very tiny, like a stick of gum. And what we're going to do is pop it in here. It goes in at kind of an angle and just pops right in at an angle. Make sure it's in there snug. And then what we'll do is peel this off and put this back on. So we're going to press this down, and this slides into this little hook right here, and then goes over our SSD. So we'll need to install that screw again. So I'm having my wife help me a little bit. Having a helper is really, really nice. Now get the screw on there. Okay, having a helper is super duper beneficial. Now we can get that back in there. That is way better. Way better, my friends. We are making progress, right? Okay, nice and snug thermal guard. Yep, that looks good. So, what to do next? Well, the next thing I think we should do is start plugging in some of these power connectors. So, let's get started with this top one first, the CPU power. CPU power, where did it go? CPU. Ah, here's Mr. CPU power. So we can push this in through the top, and one thing to note is how many pins. So this one has 4 and 8. So we're going to need 12 pins. So we'll need to put somehow both of these in here. Are you as excited as me? This is fantastic. It's so fantastic, man. And these can kind of clip in here. Okay, but I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do it first, because I don't need all of these. I'm gonna kind of put it in there like that. Okay, that should work. So we'll clip this one in first. Boom, did you hear the click? And then we just need one of these 4 pins. Okay, so these can be tricky. Yeah, I've got to be able to see what I'm doing. That's the tricky part. I'm going to take this mat off. Let's take that off. Now I can kind of see through the top. That might work better. Yeah, that'll work. Oh man, that's difficult. Got it. Okay, finally we got it. Now, it might look a little bit ugly right now. Does it look ugly? Oh, she said, I can't see. But anyway, this extra wire, I'm wondering, what can we do with it, mate? What are we going to do with the extra? Well, you really can't, because you can't separate these two. So it's just going to look a little bit ugly. Yeah, we're just going to have to do it like that, mate. What do you think?
You tell me.
It looks strange, yes. But there's not much we can do about it. Yeah, there's really not much we can do about it. Now we're going to get this one plugged in. Excusez-moi. Okay, so this one should come in through here or here. Bring it in there. And this is our big connector. There's a little ridge right here. That must be where this thing pops in. So we're going to put it in like this. And snap it in there. Is it snapped in? Oh yeah, that's nice and tight. Let's get that light back over here. So we have some light to work with. So that is in there. Okay. Next, what should we do? So we've got that in, we've got that in. We'll start plugging some of the case stuff in. Here's the USB 3.0 for the front of the case. We're going to plug that in next. Alright, so here's our front USB connector for these USB ports at the top. And one thing to note, what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to make an effort for cable management. See, I could just go up over here, but then you see you have two wires. This wire over this wire. This wire over this wire. But more efficient is if I move this up and kind of duck this under it, like that, push that all the way through, and then it's more managed. This wire's not over the top of this big one. You want the big one over top. Put this one under it. I don't know if you can see this, but there's actually one pin that's not really a pin right here at the top. You see all the pins, and then it's blue over here in the corner. Can you see that? Anyway, there's one pin that's you don't need basically on here, and you can see there's no pin missing at this side at the top. So you've got to line it up. Okay, so we're going to plug this in up here, and we can tie these together later, but we're going to plug it in like that. Or we could go through here and plug it in something like that. Through here? I mean, this is sort of an aesthetics thing. How much do you really care? Yeah. We'll go like this. Sounds like fun. Looks like fun. Anyway. Okay. So that's in there nice and snug. That is our USB 3.0 connector. We also have some more case stuff to plug in. Okay, now we're going to try to poke these babies through. Pokey poke. And there's that one. Hey! Like giving birth. It's coming out of the womb. Okay. Now the next one. And this is these are connections from the case. These are USB and HD audio connections from the case. So we have our USB labeled and HD audio. So obviously the HD audio goes in the HD audio, which will be right here.
Where?
Over here. So actually I should probably put that one through this other thingy. So let me pull that one out real quick and put that one through the other one. Take that one out. Debirthing. And it will be reborn over here. Oh, this is hard with the power supply in there. But can I get it? Hold on. Is it through? Almost. I almost had it. Okay, hold on. There, can you grab that? Okay, we got it. We have it through the birth canal. We have given birth to HD audio, which will plug in here. And again, you got to make sure the pins line up. There's one pin missing, which lines up with the pin missing here. And I'll need to get over there and take a look-sees. I'll take a look-sees over here. Nope, not that one. Additional one. One pin missing. I need to get in here. Okay, and I see the pin missing is on the bottom. So this will plug in like this. Indeed. Audio, making sure I got the right connection. And plug it in. It's in there snug. Okay. Next is the US bizzle, as I like to call it, the US bizzle. Okay, and we've got two of them. One of these will be needed for our cooler. I'm going to plug this one into the far right. Again, pin missing. Looks like it goes this way. Push that through so we don't have too much cord out here. And we'll put it in like this. Okay, now we can see. And plug it in. Okay, that one's plugged in. Now I guess next up we should probably get our USB in there. We already have our M.2. We're going to put some USBs over here. Some, not USBs, but hard drives, SSDs. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so these will go in.
You need to shoot.
Something like this. And then screw in the back holes. Different cases will have different spots for these SSDs. And I do have more spots actually on this case. So that's in there snug. It's not going anywhere. That should be good. Also, we could put SSDs down here, but I'm thinking with this jumble of cables, I think I'm going to pull this one out. So also we could put an SSD here, but I think I'm going to try to hide some cables in that opening. We don't really need this. We don't need that many SSDs in here. So we'll use this space down here to hide some cables later. Okay, you see my cable management while we're back here. See these HD audio and USB I ran underneath these other two cables that I put in for better cable management. I'm smart. Okay, so one SSD is in there. Let's put another one in. And you got to look at the connections. It's going to connect here and here. So we're going to put it in based on our connections. And let me get some more screwsies. Yep, these are good. Little tiny ones. So we're going to use one of these from the back and put it in here. So your connection should come out this way. That's how you slide it in, so you can connect right there. Okay, so we are going to screw that in. Screws in on the back right here. These screws. And feel, make sure it's nice and snug in there, which it is. Give her one more little jimmy. Make sure they're all tightened down. Okay, so we're ready to pop that in the back. I'm gonna pop that in back here. These just pop right in the top slot. Oh. Gotta feel for it. Feel where that slot is. Pops right in there. Then what we can do is take this one and it'll go right in there. You got it? Hold from this side. Okay. Yep, that should be in there. Nice and snug. Let me make sure. Yep, that's in there nice and snug. Let's pop the other one in. The other one goes up here. I had that in before. Took it out, unfortunately. These wires can be tight in here. Yes, goes this way, sorry. There it goes. Popped right in. This one's still in. Indeed. Next up is from the motherboard, we had SATA cables. So these will plug in next. Goes in the other slot. Yep, plugs in right in there. And then these, we have 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5 down here. These are where these connections go. Now, because we have this NVMe SSD, sometimes that cancels some of these SATA ports. And my motherboard said 0 or 1. So I'm going to plug these down here to be safe. Because 0 and 1 may not work due to the NVMe SSD. So we'll plug that one in here maybe. Hold on, one thing we can do is cable management again. Pop it in here. Like that. That'll help a little bit anyway. There's no way that can go in like that, but we'll try. Yep, it goes in like that. Oh my God. It's not always the easiest thing in the world. Okay, but we'll get another one and do the next one. Next one goes into the back. You don't need to see this because it's the same thing. Cable in and wire it through here again. Get another wire in there maybe. squeeze it in. And we'll put that one down here. I want to get it in this first slot, if I can. Just like that, it clicks in. So those are in there now. So now we've done a lot. It's time for the cooler installation. All right, everybody, we're halfway done. We're cruising to the finish line on this build. Make sure to tune into part 4. Subscribe if you like these videos. Let me know in the comments what you want to see next.